Hi everyone, it's Teddy, aka James Kazal and MTGO, coming at you with some more Grixis Control in Legacy. A few weeks back, I tried a list that was utilizing a scam package with cards like Troll of Khazad-dûm, Reanimate, and Grief, and that allowed us to be a little lower to the ground. Troll of Khazad-dûm has this great swamp cycling for one, so that kind of supplanted our mana base and was able to retain our consistency while running fewer lands. And I wanted to revisit that idea. Reanimate is a weirdly well-positioned mid-range tool right now. A lot of decks' best cards are kind of just good against themselves these days. We've found in the last few months that often the best answer to Bowmasters is Bowmasters. And along those lines, against Mono Red Stompy or something, reanimating their Caves of Chaos adventure and sweeping the initiative back from them can be really backbreaking. And along those lines, I wanted to put a little more emphasis on Kolaghan's command creatures like, Snapcaster Mage. I'm up to 3 here, and that's not really something that I have played in a really long time, but I'm excited to get that going again. Other than that, the list is pretty standard. You know what? Why not just add a Grief here? I want to test all these cards out, see what they're like. It's just a video. It's a fun experiment. We're going to rock 61 cards today. Why not? And I think I would like to also... No, I think I'll stick with the sideboard. I've been toying with the idea of cutting Opposition Agent and just going a little more streamlined. Since we have really fast clock potential, we might not need some of the other lock pieces. And to that end, this build is meant to combat combo decks. In the last video, I was trying a more classic Grixis Control build, but with Roiling Vortex in the sideboard. And this time I just want to try and exploit fast clock potential with the Troll Reanimate combo or Reanimate anything combo. But yeah, it should be a fun video. I'm excited to see what happens. And I'm excited to see what 61 cards will do to our consistency. Probably not too much, but yeah, let's jump in there. All right, how's it going, everybody? This hand is it's very stable, that's for sure. It's got stable mana, Orcish Bowmasters, K command to grind, and we're on the draw, so we have a draw step to deliver. Watery Grave, that could only really mean one thing. Oh, we're getting Thoughtseized. Okay, that's not good. Our hand is already kind of lacking for action, so they'll probably just take Bowmasters here. Oh, they take K command. Okay, so they're probably looking to play a longer game. I'm guessing we're against Death's Shadow right now, but it could also be Doomsday with one land in hand. Force of Will, alright. That will be good if it is Doomsday. Other decks with Watery Grave. Oh, I guess that blue-black control deck has one Watery Grave as Underground Sea number 5, similar to how Doomsday has it. No shuffle, and then a basic swamp. So yeah, it's looking like the blue-black control deck. In my last video I put up, the final match was against that deck, and it was pretty long and epic. So we'll see how it goes this time. I think I'm good to just play out another Polluted Delta. Play around Wasteland. Swamp Cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm. Okay. We might do something similar. But we also have enough lands, and I guess there is a world in which the 6 mana mode is more relevant. Lightning Bolt. Oh, Watery Grave number 2 and Shocked In. I'm pretty sure this is Shadow. It's one of the most popular decks going around right now, so that shouldn't really be a surprise. Island go. That also makes me kind of want to Swamp Cycle Troll more. I don't think we'll have a lot of time to cast a 6-drop, not to mention they are a Daze deck. And they are passing with 3 mana up, no land drop. Could be a Sauron's Ransom. Ooh, Brazen Borrower. I like that. It's not uber effective against Reanimate Troll of Khazad-dûm, since they still get some extra card advantage out of that with the Swamp Cycle, or they could just hardcast it at some point. Okay, they're going to fire the first Bowmasters. So many Legacy games have come down to who pulls the trigger on Bowmasters first. So I'm feeling good about that. But it's also possible they just have 3 more in hand. They know about our Bowmasters. It's fairly free to just fire a Lightning Bolt there. We'll have to remove it eventually. And if I can get their second Bowmasters with my first Bowmasters, that is usually a favorable outcome for us. Darshi blows. Looks like Murktide Regent. Definitely Shadow. No question about it. So if I Petty Theft right now, I would lose to Double Daze, which are 2 cards they could totally have, seeing as nothing has really happened and they still have 5 cards in hand. I could just take out their army with my Bowmasters and see if that prompts any action, because spending mana is pretty important. Resolves. Okay. Oh, this is main. Whoops. Let's go to the end step. Then I will Swamp Cycle here. Grab the last duel out of the deck. If they want to Wasteland us 4 times from this point forward, that's totally fine with me. Cling to Dust, love it. Can I afford to take 5? Probably not. If they force this Petty Theft, though, I might have to cling and look for a blue card. No action. Alright, we got him to 12. That attack might have been a little unwise if they have Shadow in hand. Yep, there it is. If they don't have any other way to lower their own life total, then Bowmasters off the top picking off Death Shadow would be pretty huge. I want to keep playing around Daze, but I also really want to play this Brazen Borrower, so I guess we're just going to cast Cling to Dust, targeting our Unpolluted Delta. That would walk right into a Bowmasters. Nah, I guess we'll hold off. Another Force of Will. I'm so curious right now. But we'll just hang back. Finally, a Wasteland. Going after our Volcanic Island, sure. Float a red. Throw him off the scent. Yeah, let's just fire this in. Dismember my Bowmasters. I'm going to Cling to Dust in response. Just keep them off that Murktide in hand. Baleful Strix. So I'm going to force this Dismember pitching Strix. And that's it. I could take a block now, or I could crack back and then I'm dead. But I think I want to chump block next turn when they'll be swinging for at least 8, because I plan to swing in the air with Brazen Barber. So I'm going to take this hit. And then I think Bowmasters has to stick around until it's really too late. Or not too late, until it must go. You know what I mean. Alright, let's go. Almost certainly they have Daze in hand. We have Cling to Dust on the Escape to play around Daze, and also a Force of Will. As much as I would like to ponder. They are going to ponder, sure. And they do not shuffle. That is pretty scary. Bowmasters. I'll force that. Alright, we did it. Nothing quite like those evasive beats. To be honest, in my head, I was feeling like there's no way we beat Shadow with this hand of Bowmasters, Kolaghan's Command, and 5 lands, but, you know, having a lot of mana was maybe good in the end there. Anyways, let's go ahead and grab our Red Blasts. Gotta beat Murktide Regent. Flusterstorm I like on the play to force through our lines, but on the draw I'm not as wild about it. Although just making sure they can't Thoughtseize us on a 1-to-1 answer is kind of cool. Sudden Edict definitely isn't as good as it used to be with all the Orc Army tokens around, but I still think it's pretty relevant against this deck. Plague Engineer, of course. Surgical Extraction is pretty good against the Reanimate deck, and also just removing all of their Bowmasters, if given the chance while trading for Reanimate, can really give you a leg up in the Bowmaster mirror. I'm going to cut a couple Force of Will, a Troll. We want more Reanimates and less Trolls, just because it's a weird Reanimate mirror. And probably cut some top end. Maybe I just need to cut all the forces. Well, I'm on the draw, so that's not wise. I guess out of all these options, Sudden Edict just is kind of the worst. And then I guess I can go down one Snapcaster Mage, since it's kind of an expensive line. And I probably don't want to top out either, so Fable can go for now. Then I'll cut a Red Blast. A Strix to respect Bowmasters. And a Ponder to respect Bowmasters. Feel free to chime in if there are better strategies there. And a Force of Will. Let's see where this one takes us. I've got an Edict and a Lightning Bolt to survive. Cling to Dust to stop an early Reanimate Troll line. They're going to Shock and Watery Grave and pass. So I think Basic Swamp is probably our best draw here, or some route to it. The back of C, okay. A little more resilient to Wasteland. Turn 1 Brainstorm, you got it. May you forever be Brainstorm locked. Just kidding. Good luck to all our opponents. Alright, here comes a Grief. If they take Cling to Dust, they probably have a Reanimate as well. Looking like it. And now maybe they want to take Lightning Bolt so it can stick around, which I might read to them having a Daze maybe. If they Daze our Shieldred's Edict, that'd be pretty bad. We can afford to take a little bit of damage from this thing though. Yep, there goes the Bolt. Another land. I'm going to pass. We can take 3 from this. Another fetch land means that they can get a pretty big Death Shadow down this turn if they want, but not looking like the case. Surgical Extraction, okay, well, might have the next Reanimate dealt with. For now, let's try and take the pressure off. They're going to Brainstorm, okay. Could be looking for Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, Double Daze. Something's happening. Drown in the Lock, maybe? It's 2 mana, whatever it is. Bowmasters? Yeah, it's Bowmasters. If they'd rather sacrifice that than Grief, I guess that would make sense as they know about the Plague Engineer in hand. Looks like we're chilling. I'm pretty sure they have a Daze. Ooh, Turok. That is pretty rough. Not a lot to do about this one. And they hit our 2 best cards, even though there was no other blue card for Force. Yeah, they got quite a clock here now all of a sudden. 1 card in hand, but it's not like our card's very relevant. Strix. It's not a good one. I mean, it's a very good one. Excuse me. Now if we hit Lightning Bolt, we could be in pretty good shape here. Another Strix. Not mad about that. Let's just extract Bowmasters. It's a very silly play, but I just can't beat it with my current hand. Okay, they have a Brainstorm in hand. Pretty scary. Could be anything. Deck looks like a pretty normal Shadow deck. We got 1 Hydroblast. We have Obnixilis, the adversary. That's pretty spicy. I saw this card a little bit out of like Jun Nick Fit when it first came out, but it fell off pretty quickly. No doubt about it, though, having multiple Planeswalkers is super powerful. And 4 Shadows, 2 days still in. They might go back up to more days when I'm on the... Or wait, no. This is when they would have the most days is if they're on the play. Theoretically. Alright. We won't fear Bowmaster, but there's a lot of other stuff that can get us here, like Dismember, Murktide Regent is pretty bad. Reanimate. Yeah, that's good enough for me. They'll smash for 8 here, and then even if I draw an answer to Plague Engineer, I can't stop all the incoming damage. I suppose that was really bad though, because if I drew Brainstorm, I didn't anyways, but if I drew Brainstorm and then turned these 2 cards into Bolt, I guess that wouldn't have worked anyways because I only have 1 red source. I guess in my brain I knew it was over, but there are worlds in which a Brainstorm from that junction could have given me Bolt to finish him off. Alright. This weird hedge job in the kind of grindy blue-black Bowmaster mirrors never really felt great. But I think we'll just want to be pummeling the stack with impactful stuff like Sauron's Ransom or a Reanimated Troll of Khazad-dûm. And for that reason, you could consider Blood Moon on the play. We play really well under Blood Moon with Troll. Fable the Mirrorbreaker as well, but Daze is just such a beating. I'm going to cut 2 forces and then, yeah, just grab some threats here. Hand looking good. We'll probably be looking to just Swamp Cycle the Troll. Well, actually, let's ponder. See what we can set up here. I probably don't need another Surgical. And then, yeah, I'll definitely take another land. Brainstorm number 3 could either be really good or really bad if they have a bunch of Bowmasters. Thoughtseize me, sure. This hand is pretty Thoughtseize proof. They might just take Sauron's Ransom, yeah. The obvious X for 1. Let's see if they want a Daze. Nope, okay. We also have a Reanimate. Let's put another Brainstorm on top, then hang that out there. Now let's shuffle up here. Grab a basic Swamp. Baleful Strix is cool. And then reanimate the Troll. We're in there on that. They're going to do the same. Cool. Blood Crypt. Thoughtseize me. I'm good to Brainstorm here. I'd like to hide Baleful Strix just because it's going to be a good way to fend off a Murktide Regent, and Sauron's Ransom can grind super hard too. So maybe I'll just hide those two. Then they can pick between Surgical or Reanimate. And they might want to take Reanimate here. They might not be able to deal with 2 Trolls. I'll be very curious. They probably have a Bowmasters though, to be honest. And can I really afford to take another Reanimate? Or cast another Reanimate, rather. I'm going to hide the Ransom and then see what they want to do. They have not made a land drop yet. Reanimate's the take. And here comes a Grief. Pitching Turok. What's next? Baleful Strix, got it. And a Wasteland, too. Alright. So they got Blood Crypt and 2 unknowns. If they're both Death Shadow, that could be pretty scary. But I think we're still supposed to fire in. If they're both Death Shadow, then they're not really interacting with Sauron's Ransom unless they get something off the top here. And we have their Reanimates beat. Alright, Death Shadow. Okay, I guess I'm Psychic. Well, that's a problem. I think. If their last card's also Daze, that would be pretty rough. Making Troll your Ring Bearer is not that big of a deal. Okay, they really don't want me to have Lightning Bolt. I think I'm just supposed to take 3 cards here though, right? Jesus Christ. Great. Alright, how about a Brainstorm? And then you don't have Bowmasters? Strix, cool. Same thing applies. Please don't have Bowmasters. Cool. So if I attack here, and if they have any way to deal with Strix, I'm dead. So I guess I'm still hanging back. Yep. Brazen Borrower. That could do it. We're still in a bit of a stall though. Let's definitely put that on Orc. And then we'll see if this resolves or not. It does, okay. Then I think this is a safe attack. If they can remove Plague Engineer, they put me to 1. This would lose to Orcish Bowmasters and like Fatal Push, I guess. Or Temur Battle Rage. Okay, we dodged the Battle Rage. And they're going to Dismember. Okay. Cling to Dust. I like it. I guess I'm going to Surgical Death Shadow. just so I'm not under any pressure or like kill you pressure right away. Hydroblast Murktide Regent, yikes. Okay, that is pretty bad for me. I think I should probably just start Cling to Dusting right now, because if I can find some reach right now, and this is also a way to make their Murktide Regent weaker. Bowmasters. Okay. I think that should do it. This dodges Hydroblast. They don't have double blue for Murktide Regent, so let's see what they draw. Brainstorm. Okay, this should do it. Alright, we got there. These games are always so fast and furious against Shadow. And the matchup has gotten really swingy. Pre-Orcish Bowmasters, it felt... I mean, I would never call any matchup for Grixis Control a buy, but according to my data, anyways, the Grixis Control matchup for Death Shadow was always really slanted in my direction. But since Bowmasters came out, and additionally, I guess Troll Reanimate is not something we often are prepared to deal with either. The matchup has completely flipped on its head. So getting the win there does feel pretty good, even though this is not really the Grixis Control I usually run. This is definitely more low to the ground. And I think having splashy plays like Reanimate makes a very swingy matchup even swingier. So yeah, let's keep on rocking. Inexplicably, we're against the same opponent as round 1. I did just take a little break to go grab a keyboard, so I guess they could have started up another league. Are we going to just assume they're on Shadow again? This video is going to be a masterclass in the Grixis, or lower to the ground Grixis Control versus Death Shadow matchup, but they could have switched this something up, you never know. It could just be jamming Shadow all day. Typically, I found this only really happens is if your opponent is in a different league than they were the first time you faced them in your league. Alright, we're seeing a mulligan. I guess it's not that weird for Shadow to mulligan if they're looking to have a threat for sure. But it could also be indicative of something a little more combo-oriented. I was really hoping to find a land here, but we still have a Brainstorm to make that happen. And if it is still a Bowmaster mirror, we're just going to want more Bowmasters than the opponent. And for now, just in case it is something completely unforeseen, I will take Force of Will. So let's go like this. Blood Crypt. Yes, I think this might be Shadow again. If not the exact same list. I had not seen Blood Crypt in Death Shadow before today. Now we could just Brainstorm now, before there's a Bowmasters online, and I'll want to play my Bowmasters around days anyways, so let's go for it. Okay, no land. That is too bad. No blue card either? Oh, there's a Sauron's Ransom. Okay. Yeah, let's just hang on to Bolt Bolt, Bowmaster Bowmaster, and then put back Force K-Command, I guess. Actually, let's go Bolt, or sorry, K-Command, Bolt. And probably look to shuffle. It's possible they could have mulliganed to Troll Reanimate. Okay, we don't see a cycle on Troll there. Wasteland, alright. I think I will shuffle away that other Lightning Bolt. I think we do really want to look for a third land drop here. And a red source. Preferably Basic Mountain. Okay, it's not a red source, but putting Sauron's Ransom on the stack at the end of their turn can be pretty obnoxious. And like I said last round, we just don't want to play the first Bowmaster. That is the goal. Ponder. It's really tempting though. Yeah, you can ponder. Hopefully that pause didn't give too much away. I found in the blue mirrors that just the chip damage off Bowmasters is not really its best use in the matchup. Alright, we might see a daze here. What's the move? We do indeed. Okay. That puts them pretty far away from Murktide Regent. Blue card or land are our best draws. There are more Bowmasters. I'll take it. We'll spend a turn being even on lands. And because of the mulligan, even though they were on the draw, that puts us at even on cards in hand too, which is pretty sweet. Grief. Okay. Yeah, this happens. I imagine they'll take Cling to Dust. And as long as they don't follow it up with too many Death Shadows, I think we're in fairly good shape. We can go pretty wide on the board. Yeah, there goes Cling to Dust. Which with one more fetch land, I can actually escape, which is cool. Reanimate, okay. They might just start working through these Bowmasters now. There is a Death Shadow. So a red source can give us Ping and Bolt Shadow playing around Daze. That's a lot of Bowmasters. Alright. Deck not feeling too functional here. I think we can afford to take this. This is really the last turn we can mess around like that. We need to start spending mana though. Let's commit a Bowmasters. Red source, please, or at least a blue card. Alright, we got there. It is wastable though, so this is our one chance really. Let's see here. Yeah, I probably want to cast Lightning Bolt on Grief. It's pretty evasive. Now let's attack with Bowmasters. And just see if the Chump Brigade can do it. They have double blue online though, so if they were sitting on a Murktide they couldn't cast, we could be in some trouble. Reanimate is kind of risky. Okay, they have another Wasteland, got it. We held off the attack. That's pretty sweet. I think I'd probably just commit more Bowmasters here. Okay, this makes sense why they didn't Wasteland then, because they were holding up a Force of Will. That is fine. I think Sheoldred's Edict is our best draw. Snapcaster Mage is also not bad though. Snap Bolt's probably the line. Then we'll have diverse creature types, so Plague Engineer can't seal our doom. And then I think we'll just be kind of wide on the board. Although you could definitely argue for a Ponder here, because we're already wide anyways. Do we really need the reach? Yeah, these are all really good. Maybe not Fable the Mirrorbreaker though. I will force a Bowmasters. We'll see if they want to Wasteland now. Ponder, sure. And they don't shuffle. That's pretty scary. Taking out the Volcanic Island, sure. There's a land drop. There's Bowmasters. Let's definitely force that. And they can't attack. We might want to do a full attack. That'll get them down to 3. It's probably safest just to play Baleful Strix, and then we're drawing Wild next turn. Get through that Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Still sitting on this Bowmasters, which is pretty sweet. They have a lot of draws that are kind of liabilities at this point, like Reanimate and Thoughtseize. What you got, deck? Ooh, Basic Mountain. I love it. Let's get Fable in there. Alright. Yeah, I think that should be sufficiently wide enough to go around Shadow, especially with the extra Bowmasters for reach in hand. And they knew what their top card was because of the Ponder. Let's grab Red Blast, but not too many as we saw last time. Plague Engineer, Sudden Edict, Surgical Extraction, Cut one Troll. I think I just did a bunch of hedging last time. It wasn't that long ago, but this heat wave up here is definitely affecting the memory a little bit. Oh yeah, I cut Fable just because tapping out is a little dangerous. These Bowmaster mirrors, they go pretty fast and furious. Oh, that's right, I didn't keep Sudden Edict in. Even with 61 cards, it's hard to find exactly what you want. Then I can trim on Force of Will. Even though, like I mentioned at the end of last match, this matchup has become pretty swingy. And I think just I went down one Strix too, just because it's a really bad top deck if they're able to establish any amount of Orcish Bowmasters on the board. But I really like Cling to Dust. I really like Reanimate to play them at their own game. If I can snipe a Grief or something, the Menace is pretty sweet. And then I want to limit my own Trolls just because they can snipe one of mine with their own Reanimates. Their Reanimates are a little bit better because they want their life total to be low. They can get a really scary board presence with Death Shadow. However, I'm also running 4 Lightning Bolts, so it's a bit of a trade-off. This hand looks fine. Stable mana, Ponder, Surgical to contest a scary Troll early on, and then Bowmasters is just one of the best cards in the matchup. Mold a 5 there, that might be what we're up against. They might cycle Troll in the end step here, and then reanimate it. I have Surgical, but if they also have Daze backup, another land is not good. Then I'll want to leave land up. However, they could also have Bowmasters and punish a Ponder, so if I don't Ponder now, I'm just going to commit to kind of pondering much later on after they maybe play Bowmasters first. I take out their Bowmasters and then I can ponder. I'll keep it cryptic though. I'm going to play Scalding Tarn. Brainstorm, sure. So it looks like we can ponder next turn. Kind of wishing it was a Brainstorm though. I'd like to turn some of these lands into spells. Blue to Delta go. Alright. Baleful Strix. That's pretty cool. Let's ponder with the option to clear any of these cards. Ooh. Yeah, I think I'm just going to shuffle this. Or maybe I'll just pick up Snapcaster Mage and then shuffle away those 2 lands. Although Snapcaster is kind of a for later thing anyways. Let's take our chances. And we get another Ponder. They can still do the same thing this turn, but they also just brainstormed, so yeah, let's just hang back. We'll have even more mana to work with next turn. And for the exact same play pattern of pondering and trying something after that, feels pretty good. They're gonna cycle that, sure. There's a Watery Grave. And they're gonna pass. They're not reaching to reanimate just yet, but they are representing Bowmasters, even though shocking in that Watery Grave isn't really too suspicious since they want their life total to be around 9 or 8 for Death Shadow. So I don't really have a good play. Kolaghan's Command is a great draw. I would be a little happier if it was Sauron's Ransom. Let's just sit back. I would not be above extracting Bowmasters either, because then Baleful Strix becomes a pretty potent card in the matchup, especially in conjunction with Kolaghan's Command. Yep, not biting. And this time I think I passed fast enough that they probably aren't suspecting Bowmasters. No shuffle, no land drop. Another Surgical Extraction, okay. It's almost tempting to just use one of these for the information. Or get them to commit on a Bowmasters if I just play this Strix out. Have a fight over that, but I don't have any counter magic. And I'd still lose to Daze, so let's just hang back. Okay, there's the first Bowmasters. Lovely. And here we come. Shoot ya. You're gonna dismember me. Okay. That works. let us trade. Interested in keeping my life total as high as possible. There's a Death Shadow. Alright, given our disparity in hand size, I am just going to... I was hoping they'd cast Reanimate, but I'm just going to extract Orcish Bowmasters and see if it's safe to hit this Death Shadow with a Kolaghan's Command, because that could be big game. If they have Force, then that's a huge blowout. Okay, just Daze. We will be able to beat that. I think we can definitely beat this hand. 2 Dazes and a Fatal Push. Feeling pretty good. Let's see, yeah, this looks like the exact same list. They'd probably just requeued. And Ob Nixilis is pretty cool. I'd like to see that in action someday, but hopefully not against me. So we can get a pretty big swing here. Oh, okay. Not wild about another land, but let's play it out. Now let's shock and raise dead here. Beating double Daze. Experiencing some lag. Oh, alright. They're just going to concede. I don't know if they knew about the Kolaghan's Command, but yeah, I guess their hand is not super relevant against what I'm doing right here. Daze is best in the early turn, and I think we played around that really well. And then Fatal Push does not match up well against Baleful Strix, especially when all their Bowmasters are gone. So, cool, yeah. I don't really feel great about this matchup, but being a little low to the ground and having some really swingy cards like Reanimate and also the full 4 Bowmasters has helped a lot so far. So maybe something to bring back to the more normal Grixis pile decks. Let's keep on rocking. Winning the die roll in round 3 feels good. Bowmasters keep. Bowmasters 2 lands keep, that is. We also have a Force of Will in case they're up to no good over there. Let's start with a Polluted Delta. Play around Wasteland where we can. Also got Lightning Bolt to keep us alive, probably. Sauron's Ransom is some sweet top end and also gives us some flexibility with this Force of Will. Ooh, DRC. Now I could try and Bowmasters this, and if they daze me or something, I could Force. But that seems kind of insane. Or not insane, but rather aggressive. We're not going to be able to get a wastable, or a non-wastable red source off this Delta anyways, so... Yeah, let's bolt this Dragon's Rage Channeler off of Volcanic Island. And if they daze this, we'll fire in the Bowmasters, and I will force a Force in that situation. There's a pause like they're dazing, but no, it doesn't happen. And now they're going to check my card. I hope it's a land. Snapcaster Mage. Okay. I kind of want to brainstorm here. If they daze that, you know, whatever. Alright, looking good. These Bowmaster mirrors are all about who can play the most Bowmasters. We don't even know if they are Bowmasters, but I think pure Izzet Delver is not as common these days. Now I'd like to ponder. I guess we can put back one Bowmaster. And just in case this gets dazed and they turn out to be like a Kill B-esque combo deck, those have been known to have DRCs at time. Okay, but it doesn't. So let's just put Bowmasters on bottom, draw the land next turn, and have Snap as my pitch to Force a Will. Although maybe I'd rather pitch Sauron's Ransom. It is nice having 3 Snapcaster Mages, but I always feel kind of bad when I pitch one in my normal Grixis Control build, because I've been on 2 Snapcasters for the longest time over there. Wasteland. It hurts, but it's not the worst. Ooh, and a Bobble. They're going to look. Sea of Polluted Delta. Maybe regret their choices a little bit. Now I am inclined to shuffle away Bowmaster number 3. I'd really rather hit a land drop. Brainstorm. It's so tempting to Bowmaster this. I think I have to, right? No matter what, if they have to daze, and then I force that daze, they're back a land drop, and then they're also down 2 cards. And I just have another Bowmasters after that. I know I talked so much about not playing the first Bowmasters last round. Forcing back according to plan, cool. Now they brainstorm. They can replay their land. That was another daze down. But they might be incentivized to play like a fetch land here, if they are trying to fix up their hand. They're going to go Volcanic Island. Okay. Grief. Okay. Check the hand. Whoa, 4th Aerolingus. Take the Murktide. Not sure what they could have hit it on top. No action over there. So I'm guessing they don't have Bowmasters. But let's make their Ponder come at a price there. Now we're hoping to draw something good. Maybe Reanimate. Force of Will. Not really useful right now. Could be in some trouble. We traded resources pretty hard, and then me having to spend 2 resources to check their hand is pretty rough. I like our odds, though, in this matchup, if they're running the white removal suite. Alright, a little help here. I'm not mad about land number 3, but with another land, they can make their board just about unbeatable. Just an attack so far. They're playing pretty cautious, but I mean, they've got us dead in 3 hits anyways, so maybe it doesn't matter that much. Snapcaster Mage is cool. I'm hoping to dodge, daze here, and also a force on my snap would be pretty bad. But let's not give them any more opportunities to draw such a card, and just try and bolt Dragon's Rage Channeler here. Round out our colors. Target Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt, target Dragon's Rage Channeler. Alright, that all resolves. Good stuff. Let's swing for 2. Lightning Bolt, Bowmasters, got it. Now they can Ponder without being punished. But they'll still need another land to break through my defenses. Well, that's not entirely true. They'll swing, they'll become the Monarch for 1 turn. Trample will deal 1 damage to me, and they'll become the Monarch. And then I can take the Monarchy with Orc Army token. Here comes Ponder. I do have a lot of good draws, although Reanimate is a little sketchy at 7. They are a Lightning Bolt deck. Them being Jeskai and not Grixis will give Baleful Strix a little more utility in the matchup, which I'm really looking forward to. Just hoping to dodge anything with flying. No shuffle on that, and we did not dodge the creature with flying. And then next turn they can 4th Aerolingus for a bunch. So we're hoping to draw pretty much anything that's not a land here. Cling to Dust. That's pretty cool. For the long run anyways. If there's more game to play, it's cool. For now, it's not looking super great. I don't think I could draw anything right now that would make me want to Main phase Cling to Dust. I guess if there's just a land on top of my deck, I'll at least want to just make the land drop. Yikes. Yeah, they might have us here. Well, we'll see what they do. They've been really cautious on every turn prior. And if they want to commit both fetches here, I suppose they could Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, they're still playing careful. I mean, this pressure in the air is going to kill me anyways, so... They might have the right idea here. I can't knock them off Delirium very easily either because they have 2 artifacts. Multiples of everything, pretty much. And it looks like they're just going to make a 2-2. Kind of get their board expanded here. Alright, they are on Delver. That's good to know. Some of these Delver decks don't run Delver. 1 card left in hand. Swamp. Well, at least we can Cling to Dust now without dying. Not in great shape, though. I'm obligated to Cling this. But after this Dragon's Rage Channeler attack, we will be dead to... Oh, we won't be able to force a will, I mean. They will Brainstorm, alright. Wish I still had those Bowmasters. Days will beat us here. They put 1 card on top. That's really bad news. Bolt beats us. There's a lot of things that beat us. Well, there's our blue card for force, but yeah, it's almost certainly too late. And we can't count on them messing up and forgetting to attack with DRC because it needs to attack. Alright, let's double block here. Go to 1. Another DRC. What could we do here? Could find Bolt. We could find 2 Strix. Ponder. I think I need to Brainstorm rather than that. Force is not a reality. We can gain 3, so if Ponder comes up with a way to deal with the DRC, we'll be hanging in there. Not yet. Shuffle. K command. Ah, we're so close. But yeah, this does not do it. If I had all the mana in the world, though. Do I just take a draw, though? No, even if I did that, I wouldn't be able to Strix into a Lightning Bolt. And I can't take them off Delirium, as previously discussed. Alright. Yeah, they had a DRC that was just uncontested for way too long. So their ability to have 1-drop creatures attack for multiple turns, that usually does not work against Grixis Control. That worked out this time. But things are going to get a lot better post-side. Red Blast, Blue Blast, Flusterstorm, Plague Engineer, Sudden Edict. I'll take a Blood Moon on the play. Cut big stuff that can get blasted. They're also a swords deck, so Troll's not as good. Although we don't want to forget about its importance to our mana base as well. So let's also trim 1 Reanimate. Take our life's total into consideration here. Hand looks good. Want to look for a Lightning Bolt off this Ponder, though. And then next turn, Swamp Cycling Troll can be kind of an undazable play as it is. There's another land. Probably don't need a second snap right now. We'll just hide Bowmasters on top. Pick up that Badlands. Starting with a Bobble. And they're bobbling themselves, so they probably have like a fetch land and also a non-fetch land. They're getting rid of the card, though, and they're just going to grab a Tundra, but not cast anything, so that's good news for us. Snapcaster on top of the deck. Let's Brainstorm. Put back 2 lands. That was not a great brainstorm. Hopefully it doesn't screw us up too much. Brainstorm, sure. Delver of Secrets. Cool. I'm assuming that's going to flip next turn as well. Let's get a basic mountain and cycle for basic swamp. Plague Engineer is great. But for now, since we are playing around days, and I don't know what else they could have, like Stern Scolding or whatever, let's just fire this in now. Take out the Delver. I'll value that over the information. Then next turn, we might be able to just play Blood Moon and lock them out of the game. At the very least, I'm assuming it will eat a counterspell. They might have Hydro Blast. They might have Spell Pierce. Who knows? But it will not get dazed, I'll tell you that. Now with that in mind, and we're not under any pressure, so perhaps I should just ponder instead. They have 6 cards in hand, but they might just be choked on red mana. Let's see what happens. Force and Negation. Cool. Little Lightning Rod action. Now let's ponder. I like Shieldred's Edict. Hide that one on top. There is a Murktide Regent. I might want to ponder before I fire off this Edict for some counter magic backup. Even though if this does fail, barring a Force of Negation, I can just try again next turn. And there's another Edict anyways. This land is more like a Lotus Petal, seeing as they have a face-up Wasteland. But maybe that's just better. Always make your land drops, they say. I guess this way we don't lose to double days. Well, that's out of there. Cool. Keep pressing damage here. Swords on Bowmasters, sure. And Brainstorm. Ooh, looks like they finally have some red mana online. So we'll see what that means for us. Maybe just a DRC that's been stuck in hand. Regardless, I think Plague Engineer on human is definitely the right name. Yep, there's that. 3 types in hand. It might be hard for them to get sorcery or artifact in the yard at instant speed, so they might have a plan for it though. They just brainstormed. We'll give this a shot. Nice. And I definitely want to be able to beat Nerolingus, but also I think we need to be pushing for damage. They got this Valley anyway, so they can pressure me off the Edict. And I'm drawing a Brainstorm next turn. If I had to come up with a Lightning Bolt at any point, I feel like these Snapcaster Mages would be pretty scary. And I'm not sure what they could have at instant speed here. Pretty sure I just want to attack for 3. Alright, looking good. They might have Red Blasts. That is a completely plausible card they could have. They have Lightning Bolt. Okay. Fourth Aerolingus. Let's start with a Brainstorm. Ooh, we don't hit the right ones. I was really hoping for Blue Blast or Flusterstorm in there. They might hold one back to block though. Although I guess that doesn't really matter when you're an Edict. I don't want to Brainstorm again. That just seems so weak. I guess I'll just hold up a Red Blast, and then they'll take the Monarchy, and then I should be able to take it back. Yeah, they're only attacking with 1. So yeah, I could see what is more important to them. And I'm still pretty sure they have a Daze, so I think I want to Brainstorm and get that Shieldred's Edict and see what they value more. If they want to introduce it to the game, then they might lose it. Yeah, we hit another Brainstorm. That's pretty funny. Crazy these things have trample. Alright, I'll give them a strange decision, I guess. Force of Will. Well, see if you got the Daze. Yep, I knew it. Gnarly. This has got to come up with a lightning bolt. Or K-Command works fine too. And we'll get back Plague Engineer. Then go ahead and take that Monarchy. Try and stay up on this Warring card advantage. Then we'll draw Scalding Tarn. Then there's a Snap on top of our deck. And if they ever fire this Wasteland, but I'm hoping they just kind of like are in on a Murktide Regent here. They don't have another 4th, which is amazing news. I would have had to Brainstorm looking for Force of Will, which we're pretty likely to find at this point. We haven't seen a single one yet. I think this supercharged version of the game where we're both drawing 2 cards a turn favors me. DRC, alright. Back at 4 card types is a little upsetting. And yeah, there's the Wasteland, sure. They will draw. I'm going to Brainstorm now. Sure, whatever. Snapcaster Mage, alright. Man, I still can't believe we haven't found a Bolt. But let's play Snap and have them sacrifice a creature of the non-token variety. And the Monarchy is ours once again. Feel like it's more likely to be a Lightning Bolt than anything else. Bowmasters, alright, not mad about that either, I guess. If they attack here, they can take the Monarchy, but their Human Knight will die in the process. They're interested. More DRC, sure. Play that. Make the same play as last turn. Swing for 1. Monarchy. Lightning Bolt yet? Troll. Yeesh. Ooh, Wasteland. And a pass. Okay, I think we've turned the corner here. We're about a minute behind on clock. At long last. I love it. Okay. Very honest of our opponent. Since we don't have a lot of time on our clock and we are playing potentially for a trophy here, the narration might get a little chaotic for game 3 here. I don't think I want Blood Moon anymore. I will take 2 Force of Wills though. And yeah, they are a swords deck, so Troll not looking good, but like I said last time, it is part of our mana base. On the draw, let's cut the top end stuff like Fable and Brazen Borrower. Oh, I kind of like Brazen Borrower. Let's cut Reanimate. Sudden Edict is not great with the tokens. Rather have Red Blast. And then I guess, yeah, Flesher Storm's already out. Doesn't keep us alive. Just cut one Ransom. Or I'll trade Ransom for Troll. Alright. Hopefully we're better at finding Lightning Bolt this time. Sure, hand's super stable. Has Brainstorm. Has Bowmasters. A lot to love. Delver is a good start for them for sure. Hope to find Bolt here. Wonderful. So far so good, baby. As much as I'd love to Bowmaster this thing. I think they have a Daze. They're pausing here. Oh, they're forcing negationing. Okay. That is wild. I believe they are all in on this. So if it misses on the flip, which it might because they're drawing first. Okay. It does miss on the flip. That's pretty cool. And they're just going to go ahead and take the Monarchy here. Fascinating. I mean, it could be an advantage they really push. If they have another force, that's pretty bad for us. Or if they have Daze too, that's also bad. But we're in there. If they have land, another Aerolingus, that could be bad. They're also going to get at least one more draw off this Monarchy. Wasteland. DRC, sure. Send this upstairs. K command. Let's go ahead and cast Shielder's Edict. They are going to Wasteland in response, sure. Let's float a blue. And that worked, okay. So now let's Ponder. Use all the mana we can. I kind of like Cling to Dust, but I guess Baleful Strix is pretty good at checking Murktide Regent. But I'm more inclined to shuffle this. No, that's crazy. I should keep this. I'll work through this pile pretty quickly too if I take the Monarchy here. But if they have another Wasteland, I'll be looking for some mana pretty soon. Yep, there it is. Alright. Gotta be pretty selective now. Let's attack. No argument there. And now let's play Underground Sea. It's not a blue source, but it is a land. Alright, well, whatever they found off the top, it wasn't really going to help them out, it seems. They had a really strong gambit early on, though, protecting that Delver and then grabbing the Monarchy with 4th Aerolingus on turn 2. I think there are a lot of worlds in which that does win. Fortunately, we were prepared. We had 2 answers for Delver. Well, that's 3 kind of Delvery decks. Shadow, and Jeskai Delver. Let's see if we can showcase maybe a more combo matchup in match 4. That's kind of what the deck was built for, but it's also nice to know we can beat the tempo matchup. We win the die roll again. Nice. And this hand looks pretty solid. We've got Troll Reanimate combo and Bowmasters. We could Ponder, but let's kind of get a feel for the matchup here. See what's going on. Straight up wasteland. Wow. Am I just getting a basic swamp here then? I don't really want to get wasted already. Build out our position a little bit, right? Ooh, grief. Might want to just grief reanimate instead. Yeah, let's make a land drop. With this spread, they'll never suspect we're even Grixis. It's a sad day that I'm pitching Strix over Bowmasters. Lorien revealed. I wonder what they're up to over there. Okay, it looks like Mono Blue Delver. I definitely don't want to reanimate Troll, given that Brazen Borrower. I could just take Brazen Borrower and then reanimate Troll and just put them to the test. I could also lock in Bowmasters, make their cantrips pretty bad. But I think I want to save Bowmasters for Delver for sure. They can't do it all next turn, and they're more than likely to play a Delver next turn. Murktide is probably the hardest to deal with. And I'm confident that I don't need that quick of a clock against this deck. So I think I'm going to take Murktide and then scam back the Grief Brainstorm. Or I could just take Brazen Borrower because it's a 2-for-1. And get you back. Grab Brainstorm. Alright. That might make them think I don't have Bowmasters as well. There's the island we knew about. Let's see what they want to do. It's probably in their deck's prerogative to play Delver and start working towards clock. Yep. That's what's going on. Kolaghan's Command. Well, can't do anything about that yet. There are ways in which this totally falls apart, but I do need to play this out so I can beat the days. And perhaps Bowmasters will just be such a pain for them that they won't be able to function too easily after this gets on board. And this will take out their Delver, so we are looking at a nice 2-for-1 no matter what. They could bounce it with Petty Theft and then Wasteland. Well, that's all requires them to have more mana, which they do have, okay. And I was hoping they wouldn't do that, but here we are. Okay, that's pretty cool. I do think Kolaghan's Command is really good in the matchup. They might just Petty Theft the army token here. We'll see. Oh, Fairy Vandal. That's pretty bad for me. Still pushing damage, and we can get the Bowmasters back with K-Command as soon as we get another land here. Now their cantrips aren't that big of a deal, and I'm not sure how fast this is going to clock really, but it's out of K-Command range now. The problem from this junction is that we have a lot of bad top decks. Any blue card. That's about it though. Looks like they found Murktide Regent. Unfortunate. Well, this one really flipped on our head. Didn't play around Fairy Vandal. Cling to Dust. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. We are in some trouble. Not sure what could get us out of this either. I guess our own Petty Theft? Or no, because we don't have a blue source. Yeah. There's a blue source, but I don't think there's anything that can get us out of this one. There's nothing flying to reanimate to block with. I could have played this more defensively, I guess. There's Brazen Borrower. But yeah, we just don't have another blue source. Dang. I believe I played that correctly. I took the Murktide Regent, but they were just able to find another one. Red Blast, Sudden Edict, Plague Engineer, they've got X1s. Flusterstorm's great. And I guess if I have enough stuff to take out... Nah, Surgical's no good. We might have the luxury of just keeping in a bunch of Force of Wills. And I think they're going to bring in a lot of Blue Blast. So even though K-Command is really strong, I think we can go down on K-Command. Yeah, we could just have everything that kills a creature, and I guess also cut Snap because it's a little grindy. Brazen Borrower doesn't seem super relevant. And in my heart, I really want to cut Force, but we should just cut a Reanimate. Respect our life total here. And I guess Grief can be our top end. I think it worked out really well that game. I think they had an exceptional Ponder, and we're also able to keep us off blue, or we kind of kept ourselves off blue. I could have kept a hand that was a little more stable with blue mana. Take the play. And yes, I have a Pyroblast here, so I'm very much inclined to keep this. Got a turn 1 play, it looks like. Delver, sure. And I think I just want to play around Daze forever. Grab basic swamp here. Okay, another land. Probably good on those. And then I'm risking Spell Pierce, another soft permission, by not main phasing this. Force of Will, got it. They are looking to push damage. Now, unless we draw another 1 mana or 2 mana way to interact, we'll be under Daze for a little bit. That does not flip though, so we could also draw Orcish Bowmasters to deal with it. So we can probably count on this flipping next turn. I guess that also means if they're really trying to flip this Delver though, they can't shuffle with Polluted Delta and cast something else. Alright. Let's see something good here. Sauron's Ransom. I'm hoping to dodge Wasteland, or we can just flush out a Daze via the Ransom, I suppose. However, if they reveal Daze off the Delver, I'm just going to try to K-Command right then and there. Dismember? Okay, sure. Oh, and then they don't want it. Yeah, that makes sense. There's an attack for 3, sure. Shouldn't tolerate that for much longer. Another Delver, okay. Let's cast Sauron's Ransom here. And it's resolving, that's surprising. This plays really nice with Snapcaster Mage too. I can't really pass up Lightning Bolt and Cling to Dust, so I'm going to take that first pile. I gave up on a Bowmasters, which is a little unfortunate, but I think having efficient spells is the name of the game here. Another Ransom, okay. I'll play out Polluted Delta. I really don't want this K-Command to get hit with a Spell Pierce or a Blue Blast or something like that. Well, there's Daze, so I said I'd move on this now, so I guess I will. Get me a Bowmasters and try and soak up some damage here. Yep, Blue Blast. I had a feeling. And hopefully they don't have yet another Daze here. We know they're drawing one. They're going to brainstorm into Daze. Okay. Whew. It's tough stuff. But hopefully we're wearing down their resources a little bit. They still have a draw step. 4 cards, including an island. 3 cards left. Ponder. I think I'll start there. I don't really want any of this stuff. I wanted like Bolt or Pyroblast. Brainstorm, alright. Give that a shot. Baleful Strix is pretty cool. But I already made a land drop apparently. Alright, going to 2 here. And a Preordain. Bottom, that's some good news. I think I just need to gain 3 life here. Feels bad, but we're in pretty bad shape. Start with Strix. That was good. Then we'll draw the Ransom, and I suppose I should try to snap Lightning Bolt one of these, but that can be done at instant speed. I think I need them to make the first move. And if this actually like holds them up, I can just cast Sauron's Ransom. They're going to Brainstorm right now, and now would be the time to move before they have a completely well set up set of options here. Okay, snap resolved, so I have faith that Bolt will as well. Unless they have 2 dazes. Lovely. Land number 3 is new for them, and they're doing something right away. Ponder, sure. Really missing having a Bowmasters established here. I think that would have gone a long way. Gut shot. Well, looking to dodge the Psionic Blast now, I guess, or just 2 more gut shots. Bowmasters. Might be too late. Throw up another Strix. Alright, that made it. Brainstorm. Okay, let's just leave our options up. We're in a precarious situation. I think we do attack, though. Maybe they'll cantrip again? I don't know. Dismember. Let's go ahead and Brainstorm. Then we're going to have to cast Bowmasters and then Flusterstorm, because right now they can pay for it if we Fluster. And I don't have blue to just fire off another Brainstorm. Can't cast Reanimate, so we'll put that away. Hide Brainstorm. Then we also have to hope they don't have another removal spell after that. I guess we just go face with this. Alright, Flusterstorm. It's countered, it's countered. So now we're drawing a Brainstorm. But I think I just would rather hold up Sauron's Ransom or Cling to Dust or something. We should attack though. And I'll also attack with the army token. Just make them think about it. Seeing some action on the Scalding Tarn there. No Mystic Sanctuary. Hull Breacher. Well, guess I'll Brainstorm right now. We knew that Reanimate was there, but I think we should be alright. Let's put a Lightning Bolt there. I'm also really happy to know about Hull Breacher. Alright, if they mount some kind of insane defense for next turn, maybe Sauron's Ransom can figure it out, or we can make one of our creatures the Ring Bearer, and if they have like a huge Murktide Regent, it'll be unblockable. Well, I guess that doesn't really matter. They could... Yeah. Okay, cool. That was a close one. I'd say we barely got there, and I'm glad they didn't have like Psionic Blast. So they got a lot of tricks. They've got Dismembers and Gut Shots. We can't really rely on them being mono blue and therefore not really having removal. But the blue blasts are pretty crushing. Kolaghan's Command is really, really powerful in the matchup, but I just don't think I can afford to have a 3-drop run into Hydroblast like that. That was such a clutch Flusterstorm back there. And yeah, let's just trim the stuff that hurts. I'll keep 1k command. I guess just hedge a little bit. I want more forces now that I'm on the draw. Once again, clock is a little bit of a concern. We have a draw step to find a land. We also have Brainstorm, but it's not really the best tool for finding a land drop. Even though you're looking at 3 cards just like Ponder, you're stuck with those 3 cards. It's really risky. I'm gonna mulligan. Oh man. I guess this is how it goes, huh? I guess I'm going to 5 though. Best hand yet, but I'm not feeling great about this. Definitely keep Bolt and Bowmasters, and I guess we'll send a land. Alright. Delver. Sauron's Ransom. If I get wastelanded, I think it's just over. So I'm going to ponder and look for a red source, and we might take some damage in the interim. Troll, I guess, counts enough. Edict is fine here. But yeah, it's not pretty. But it's got to be better than leaving it up to fate. Oh, they hit it. And it's a daze. What a nightmare. This is a multi-turn line for daze here, or for lightning bolt, but it's definitely worth it. Sit back and relax, or we could bait out their daze. It looks like they're on 1 land over there. They're definitely pushing for damage. They have another Delver. Ooh boy. Cycle that. They might be sandbagging a wasteland. Brainstorm. That could help. Sudden Edict, cool. Reanimate, a little risky. Let's put it on top though. And then try and bolt this around daze. Okay, cool. I was anticipating another Force of Will. This one does not flip. That's pretty cool. I'm really curious what's in their hand, though. I could reanimate the Troll, and then Sudden Edict is guaranteed to take out Delver. I could play... No, that's too much mana. That puts me to 6. And they do have Dismember, so I don't even think that's very reliable. I think I'd rather reanimate Bowmasters when the time comes. We'll see if this flips or not. Blue Elemental Blast. Okay, well my hand is mono black right now. And they couldn't play anything last turn, so does that mean they won't this turn either? Cool. Umezawa's Jite, that's insane. There is some world where it's probably correct to reanimate the Troll and just start attacking in, but that just seems really risky and splashy. Got shot targeting me. Yep. Start playing these out. It's not a Bowmaster's Mirror, so it's okay for me to play the first one. And they did not force it. Brainstorm. That's a good one. Ooh, Force of Will. That is really good. Yeah, I just don't know if Reanimate's good enough. I could reanimate a Delver, but I think I'm going to want it. Yeah, it's probably the best use of it, honestly. And then Sauron's Ransom I can do the turn after. Then Snap is my pitch for Force of Will. Reanimate Delver. Dismember targeting Orcish Bowmasters, that is fine. I am scared what's going to happen now that they're on 2 mana, though. Reveal the Ransom. And Petty Theft. I'm going to counter this. Alright, we evened up the life totals a little bit here. And I'm hoping they'll cast like a cantrip here. But it's looking more like Murktide Regent. Yep, alright. Now we can sneak past Murktide by making this our Ring Bearer. I just have to take the first pile, right? Unless they have Baleful Strix already answered. They might be trying to trick me, though. That's a really tough one. Ugh. Haha, okay. That was really risky, but I think it will pay off here. Gotta see if this works first. Alright, we did it. Trophy match coming up. Welcome back to the final round. Playing for a trophy with a 61 card deck. This show is so embarrassing. Yeah, this is a keep. Force blue card, land and troll. 2 lands kind of. Bowmasters is great. Can check the hand with Grief, which I suppose is just smart to do these days. See what's going on over there. Storm. I'm inclined to take Brainstorm here, but this is a pretty Thoughtseize proof hand. The only thing we don't want to take is Echo of Aeons. I could take a Dark Ritual to kind of gate them on mana, but they're having mana issues. So taking Rite of Flame will just kind of make their decision easier, so I don't want to do that. So yeah, let's just try and constrict their options here. Then if I can find a Reanimate off my draw step and just clock really quickly, I think we'll be in good shape. Pass over there, sure. Let's go ahead and grab a C that's underground. Land number 3, okay. I really want to catch their Brainstorm, but I don't know if that's any better than just firing Bowmasters here and just actually applying some pressure in earnest. I think we can wait one more turn because of this force. Alright, we hit Reanimate. I'm going to Reanimate Grief instead. I think that is more impactful. Checking the hand of the combo player. You know, if I have the choice, I'm going to do that. Let's fire in Bowmasters in response just for the ultimate squeeze. And I don't know if they would have done this had I targeted Troll. So we might end up with a similar clock anyways. This will put them to 15. Next turn we'll be attacking for 8. They're going to Brainstorm again. Okay. So they're really looking for something. And I just got to hope that this Force of Will can stop their perfectly sculpted hand, because they'll probably try and go off next turn. Maybe they won't be able to, but through a Grief. Or if they're relying on Echo of Aeons, oh, they can easily take another 6. That'll be fine. So, yeah, it's going to be close. But maybe if they have to rely on echoing twice, they won't be able to do that. Yep, that's a lot of mana. So if they just have a payoff in hand, we'll hopefully just force that. They just get more mana off the bat if I take a Rite of Flame, so I think taking a Ritual is right there. I'm guessing we're going to see a bunch of Rituals fire off and then a Burning Wish. If it's a Galvanic Relay, we got them. If it's a Natural Tendrils, then yeah, they got it. They did Brainstorm twice. Sometimes you see a main board one. Okay, it is Burning Wish. Definitely want to counter that. There goes game 1. I wish I had those discard spells. I think we'll be okay. Just take the blue blasts, maybe 1 or 2 red blasts. Ooh, not Blood Moon. Surgical Extraction's not really what it used to be against Storm decks, but I think it's still somewhat relevant. We didn't see anything like Infernal Tutor, but I think it's fairly likely. And even if they don't have that, Opposition Agent being a flash beater is pretty great. Cut Fable. I'll leave 1 Cling around. We can cut Lightning Bolts and definitely Shieldred's Edict. I think this looks fine. Definitely keep the hand with Force of Will. We got 2 lands, Orcish Bowmasters to pressure, maybe Brazen Borrower to pressure a little more. We'll see. Happy to see another blue card there. Lotus Petal. That might mean they're looking to storm a little bit here. Indeed, yeah. Rite of Flame, 2 cards left. Burning Wish, I will counter that one. Pitching Snapcaster Mage. They'll Veil of Summer, we'll force again. And that's good enough for them. Just a furious little storm match there. And we get away with a 5-0. That is, not gonna lie, I hope this deck doesn't get published. I'm not trying to have a 61 card deck on my record there. But also, can't be petulant about it. These things rarely happen. Should be very grateful. And I am. This deck was pretty sweet. The One of Grief is going to probably arise a lot of suspicion from the world of Magic, and I think this could definitely use a lot of tuning. The most obvious thing is 61 cards, just to test some stuff out. It can definitely be pared down to a tight 60, but I do like that I was able to hang on to the core of my deck, which is Kolaghan's Command, Snapcaster Mage, Cling to Dust, and just kind of augment some pieces from there, cutting some of the more expensive stuff like Narset or my 4-drop bombs I love so much in favor of a Reanimate package. Even though it's not really full on Reanimate, there's only 1 Grief. It just gives some nice angles to the deck. Cutting down on lands kind of helps the long grindy games, and Troll of Khazad-dûm really helps out with the consistency, even though I think I still prefer Lorien Revealed in this type of slot. There's no question that if you want to run a Reanimate package, Troll is the better choice. I was also missing mainboard Plague Engineer, but it didn't really come into play there. The other funny thing about this is that we didn't really see a very wide array of matches. I'm glad that we were able to showcase the combo matchup at the very end there. That's what I was hoping to showcase with this deck, because it feels not only highly disruptive like my normal Grixis Control piles, but also with a potential for a very quick clock. But yeah, maybe going down on discard spells could be something to think about. Definitely feels like the blue tempo mirror is solid. Anyways, I am exhausted. It's been a crazy day, and 5 blue mirrors. It was really nice to just face Storm at the end there. I hope you all have a great day. This has been another pretty wild one, so catch you all later.